Got a handle, handsome carrying case included. We have a Cottonwood mouthpiece which has a soapstone socket insert in there. This is going to be an amazing video. Stay tuned. Check this complete fire system out. I have cedar bark for cordage, which is going to be the fine kindling or tinder. I have a hand drill that was cut down, so now it's a strap drill spindle. I have some really thin but strong stinging nettle cordage. I have my white cedar fireboard, and I have a cottonwood mouthpiece that has a soapstone insert. For those of you who watch my socket insert video, I have soapstone in some cottonwood, and I also angled it a different way. I did it a little triangular. Okay, here's some cottonwood, it looks like. This was cut down, but that's okay. You take stuff and use stuff when you find it. Usually I like to find it on trees in the wild, but hey, who cares? It's here, it's available. I'm using it. That's a good piece of bark. Welcome to another episode of For You to Survive. Today's video is kind of a reward for all the subscribers and regular watchers, because you'll understand what I'm doing a lot better than people who just started joining the channel. But for all you new people out there, welcome aboard. To all you subscribers, thank you subscribers. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get to it. I'm going to show you a way to travel with a really small compact kit, if that's a thing you want to do. A regular socket with a soapstone insert looks like this. It fits the hand nicely. This one I angled so I can actually put it in my mouth. This is an astragalus insert. This is a bottle cap insert. I experimented with a fatwood insert. So here's fatwood. I carved a square that fits the fatwood insert, and now I can use smaller pieces of fatwood. And I got my next piece of fatwood, so whenever this fatwood doesn't work anymore, I put in my new piece of fatwood. One thing I want to caution you on is, if you have a piece of fatwood and that little center piece is in there, it could break out, and that's what happened to my piece. So I used a little bit of spruce sap and I put it in there, but it should still be a viable socket. Last time you may recall how I made a hand drill. I cut the end off, and I used the back 90-degree edge of my knife to smooth it out. Here I'm going to cut off a little bump on there that doesn't help me, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a hand drill first to burn in the end of my spindle. If you haven't seen my hand drill video, please take a look. It's the last video that I made. This isn't a repeat of the hand drill video. I'm going to burn in a hole so I can burn in my spindle. Usually what happens is, if I burn in a hole, I use too much of the usable fireboard, so it's best to start fresh. I'm going to burn in my spindle, and that's the important part. Okay, that's a good burn-in. Some of you might think, okay, fine, you got a hand drill. Why do you want to do anything else? Well, this is for traveling and a small compact package. So, I use the same principles of the hand drill. I'll put my knife on, I'll put my thumb away from the blade. I'll make that ring. Now I can make a clean cut. I am going to chamfer this a little bit. That way it's going to fit in the socket better, and it's going to be smoother. This is probably a bit longer than it should be, but it's going to come in handy when I bend over to drill. Now, in the past I've used hand drills this size to effectively start a fire, but there's another way I want to show you. Okay, with my fireboard, I'm going to start make a starter hole because I need to burn in the fireboard now. The spindle's burned in, of course. This is going to save me valuable fireboard real estate because I don't want to run out of fireboard just before my ember starts and then I lose it and I have to start all over again. I'm not into that. I want to really make sure the end of the drill is as smooth as possible, because if this drill is not as smooth as possible, it's going to catch and give me problems. I want the smoothest drilling I can make whenever I drill in the hole of the fireboard. Here's an up-close version of the socket. It's going to be like this. I could just use a socket without the insert. I wouldn't make a hole or anything in it. I'd put just a divot that I normally make, so that way I can drill and I'm on with it. But this makes it repeatable and usable more longer term, say. That's the advantage of that. Sometimes it's nice to have a stick so it can hold on to fireboard. What I'm going to do, I can't talk once I get going, but I'm going to put the socket in my mouth, wrap around a couple times, 2-3 times, and then I'm going to drill. I don't need a bow for this. Okay, the hole's burned in. We'll keep this dry. I'm going to make my notch now. Same notch as a hand drill, just a smaller version of a bow drill. My ember catcher will be a piece of the fireboard, the old fireboard that is. Some of you may be wondering or worried about it, like, isn't the stick going to go in my eye or mouth or throat or something? Well, I'm drilling sideways, so if it's going anywhere, it's going to go out to the side, away from me. So even if I'm pushing down, the stick will go to the side. That should be a little comforting. If you're not comfortable, don't do it. Okay, the stick's moving a little bit. I may have to get a better stick. This one's just too bent. This time I'm going to try a rock. Okay, I need a heavier rock. Let's see if we can get an ember this time. Sorry about the squeakiness, but that's part of it. Well, we got it. We got it. Let's take a look. There it is. Beautiful. All right. Very nice. Here's a bundle of white cedar. Minimal transfer distance. All right, I'll burn my ember catcher, but that's fire. That counts. There's more I gotta tell you though. I told you that this set is made for traveling. So we have the Fireboard, the strap drill spindle, which this would actually be nicer if it was a little bit shorter. That way it'd be less wobbly, but this is actually pretty straight and worked out well. I have the stinging nettle cordage and my mouthpiece. So what I can do is wrap it around and tie it up. So now I have a compact little kit. But what if I'm really traveling hard and I don't know where I'm gonna go? That's where this comes in handy. This is cedar bark cordage. So what I did was I tied an overhand knot on the end. On the other end, I tied a clove hitch and a reef knot on the end of it. So that would hold this end together. So if I wanted to just slide it off, I can get to it easy. I have some cedar bark drying. This is inner cedar bark. What I did was I have the outer bark and inner bark. I broke some of the inner bark, removed the outer bark, and rolled it nicely so I could remove the inner bark so it'll dry better. So now I have access to white cedar bark, and I just unravel it, take off as much as I need, and then I can go on my way. So what happens if I needed to use this bark? Well, when it's time to add more cordage, I can twist this and make the cordage longer, just like regular reverse wrap, so I can add fibers. I can take new bark and add it in, and I can continue to have portable kindling or fine tinder. So this can be an indefinite source of tinder or fine kindling, depending on what you call it. So that's pretty sweet. So I'll just twist the end tight, twist the other end tight, and a simple overhand knot. That's going to secure it. So when I'm traveling, I can put my cedar bark in here, put a little loop in here. So now I got a really compact fire kit, and that's really sweet. I always recommend carrying a dependable fire starter with you, but if you want to practice and try your primitive skills with having your backup fire set with you, that's fine. I can open up the cedar bark, put it through one of the reverse wrappings, and wrap it, and away I go. Put a little knot in here. Got a handsome carrying case included. Keep on drilling.